Welcome to another round of 55 random facts. The number of active Monaco Army is 82 people. It is the only state in the world where the size of the regular army is less than the size of a military band with 85 performers. The word tariff is thought to come from the town of Tarifa in southern Spain. Back when it was under Arab rule around the 8th century, officials there would charge fees for ships passing through the Strait of Gibraltar, which was an early form of taxing trade. The number of licensed gondoliers in Venice is regulated, often cited as being around 425. The cholesterol-free label you often see on vegetable oil bottles is purely a marketing strategy, as cholesterol is only found in animal fats, meaning all pure vegetable oils are naturally cholesterol-free. Meet Nepenthes raja, the Godzilla of carnivorous plants. Its gallon-sized pitchers are death traps for bugs and the occasional unlucky rodent, earning it the title of largest carnivorous plant by volume, found only on Borneo's misty peaks. The oldest airline still operating is the Royal Dutch Airlines, KLM, which was founded on October 1919. The coco de mer palm, which grows on the Seychelles Islands, produces the world's largest seeds. A single seed can weigh as much as 18 kilograms. Mozambique's flag packs a visual punch. It's the only national banner waving a Kalashnikov AK-47, honoring its bloody fight for independence. The rifles clash with a farming hoe screams, "Peace through strength." Mauna Kea is Hawaii's sleeping giant, 33,000 feet from ocean floor to summit, dwarfing Everest by over a mile. Though only 13,800 feet poke above water, its volcanic base makes it the tallest mountain on Earth by total height. The mountain's name means White Mountain in Hawaiian, named for its seasonal snowcaps, a rarity in the tropics. With its clear skies and minimal light pollution, the summit of Mauna Kea provides ideal conditions for stargazing and scientific research. The presence of multiple telescopes from various countries makes it a hub for astronomical discoveries. San Marino, a tiny state founded in the 4th century and located within Italy, is not only Europe's oldest existing state, but also the world's oldest republic, covering an area of just 61 square kilometers or 38 square miles. QR codes started as a Toyota factory hack in 1994, a way to scan car parts faster than clunky barcodes. Today, they're everywhere. Data mining is the digital equivalent of panning for gold in a river of numbers. Using algorithms as your sieve, it uncovers hidden patterns. And yes, it's why Netflix always knows your next binge watch. Despite being a programming language created way back in 1959 and often thought to be obsolete, COBOL, aka Common Business-Oriented Language, is still surprisingly vital to the finance world, quietly powering an estimated $3 trillion in daily transactions on old bank mainframes, because swapping it out for something newer would be a massive and risky undertaking. Before microchips, computer was a job title. The term computer originally referred to a person who performed calculations or computations. The Banaway rice terraces in the Philippines were carved by hand into mountainsides over 2,000 years ago. Socotra Island isn't just remote, it's a botanical time capsule. After drifting away from Africa millions of years ago, 37% of its plants evolved into species found nowhere else, like umbrella-shaped dragon's blood trees that bleed red sap. Harry S. Truman is the last U.S. president to skip college, yet his shrewd leadership ended Yakonkuz and birthed NATO. Lithium is the lightest metal, being about 5 times lighter than aluminum and almost half the density of water. The word umbrella comes from the Latin word umbra. In Latin, umbra means shadow. This reflects the early purpose of umbrellas. The Netherlands is the second biggest exporter of agricultural products in the world, second only to the US, which has roughly 270 times the Netherlands' landmass. Dutch farmers produce 5 times more food per hectare than the EU average, making them the most efficient feeders of the planet. Like water, solid bismuth is less dense than its liquid form, causing it to expand when frozen. Gallium, a metal that melts in your hand, literally at 29.8 degrees Celsius or 85.6 degrees Fahrenheit, Scientists use it for liquid mirrors, and pranksters love to disappear spoons in hot tea. On July 4, 2011, sign language was given the status of the second national language in Iceland. Octopus eyes are a masterpiece of parallel evolution. They work like ours, but better, with no blind spot and the ability to see polarized light. The kicker? They built this advanced system totally independently, proof that evolution loves a good design, even when it invents it twice. The Roman Empire constructed over 80,000 kilometers or almost 50,000 miles of stone-paved roads. Many of these ancient roads have lasted to this day, with some still in use, showcasing the Romans' incredible engineering skills. Oligodendrocytes are the unsung electricians of your nervous system. These multitasking cells wrap nerve fibers in fatty myelin, insulating up to 50 wires at once to turbocharge brain signals. But they're not just insulation installers, they also act like neuron snack bars, pumping out energy drinks, aka lactate, to keep your thoughts firing. Damage to oligodendrocytes can lead to demyelinating diseases such as multiple sclerosis, where the loss of myelin disrupts nerve signal transmission. Bones are not merely structural, they function as endocrine organs, releasing hormones like osteocalcin. It has positive effects on muscle function and cognitive abilities like memory. Furthermore, the bone marrow within bones is the primary site of blood cell production, generating hundreds of billions of blood cells, including approximately 200 billion red blood cells, every day to replenish the body's supply. Some humans have unbreakable bones. The LRP5 mutation makes bones 8 times denser than normal, virtually shatterproof. Only 50 cases exist worldwide. The missing nose of the Great Sphinx wasn't just lost to time or weather. While the exact story is debated, one account says a religious leader deliberately removed it in the 14th century because depicting human faces was forbidden. Here's a surprising fact: diamonds can burn. Since they're made of carbon, they'll oxidize when heated with oxygen. At temperatures above 900 degrees Celsius, or 1,652 degrees Fahrenheit, a diamond will essentially turn into carbon dioxide gas, leaving nothing behind. It's actually easier to burn a diamond than to melt the gold or platinum it might be set in. Argentina is the only country named after a chemical element. Its name comes from the Latin word for silver, argentum. In zero gravity, the physiological conditions that cause snoring, like gravity pulling tissues down in the airway, are absent. Therefore, astronauts in orbit snore far less in microgravity. Many common insect repellents, particularly those containing DEET, work by interfering with mosquitoes' ability to detect the scents that humans emit, like carbon dioxide and lactic acid, which they use to locate hosts. They don't necessarily repel the mosquitoes physically, but rather make it harder for the mosquitoes to find you. The Congo River is Earth's ultimate underwater canyon, plunging deeper than 2 statues of liberty stacked end to end, or in some places more than 220 meters or 722 feet. Its churning currents sculpt abysses so vast, locals call it the river that swallows all rivers. Nature's sneakiest imposter, the so-called Siberian cedar, actually a pine in disguise. Though it shares the cedar's grandeur and scent, its pine cone DNA betrays it. Black walnut trees have secret. They pump juglone into the soil, a toxin that cripples competing plants for years. It's a brutal strategy to monopolize sunlight, leaving a no-grow zone even after the tree is gone. Also, there's a name for this process. It's called allelopathy. Mustard plants are more than just the source of your favorite condiment. Did you know that mustard plants belong to the Brassica family, which also includes broccoli, cabbage, and kale? Mustard seeds come in different varieties, such as white, brown, and black, each with unique flavors and uses. Canada is the largest producer of mustard seeds. Pine trees are nature's overachievers. With 120-plus species, they've conquered every continent except Antarctica. Some, like the ancient bristlecone, defy time by living 4,000 or more years, older than the pyramids. And the towering ponderosa pine, It rockets past 200 feet, proving evergreens don't mess around. Satellites that are no longer operational are typically moved to special graveyard orbits or directed to re-enter the atmosphere to minimize space debris. NASA estimates there are over 8,000 used satellites and other objects in orbit. Every second, the Sun becomes about 4 million tons lighter as it converts mass into energy. Despite this huge loss rate, it's a tiny fraction of the Sun's total mass, and the Sun is expected to continue fusing hydrogen for at least another 5 billion years. The little plastic bits at the ends of shoelaces are called aglets. The modules used to supply the International Space Station were named Leonardo, Raphael, and Donatello, referencing the Renaissance artists. The king cobra's bite is nature's ultimate power move. Its venom can topple an elephant in hours, liquefying the showdown between reptile and titan. While the snake rarely picks fights this big, its toxin is a brutal reminder that in the jungle, size doesn't always win. Contrary to popular belief, dark chocolate, particularly with high cocoa content and less sugar, might not be as bad for your teeth as other sweets. Some compounds in cocoa could even help slow down the growth of bacteria that cause cavities. However, this only applies to dark chocolate, not sugary milk chocolate, and it's definitely not a replacement for good dental hygiene. Dolphin communication is quite advanced. Studies suggest that each dolphin develops a unique whistle pattern that works a bit like a personal name. Other dolphins seem to use these specific whistles to call out to individuals, and the dolphins respond when they hear their name. The QWERTY keyboard isn't a typo. It's a 19th century hack to stop typewriters from jamming. By scattering common letter pairs like T and H, inventors ensured metal arms wouldn't clash. Oddly, we're still stuck with it today, even though jamming is a non-issue. Casinos are psychological labyrinths. No clocks, no sunlight, just endless carpet swirls to hypnotize you into 5 more minutes, because the house knows time is money and they'd rather you forget both. When 2 neutron stars collide, they create an event called a kilonova. These powerful explosions, though less bright than supernovae, are where many of the universe's heavy metals are forged. Scientists estimate that a single kilonova can produce an amount of gold roughly equivalent to the mass of many Earths. Research suggests that the perceived cost of wine can actually boost activity in the parts of our brain associated with pleasure, making us enjoy it more. This happens even with the exact same wine, highlighting how our expectations can create a kind of luxury placebo effect, and showing that in some ways, pleasure truly is a state of mind influenced by what we think we're experiencing. Blood phobia affects 3 to 4% of people, causing a unique physiological response where individuals faint at the sight of blood. Unlike other phobias that increase heart rate, blood phobia triggers a vasovagal reaction that dramatically drops blood pressure and heart rate. Researchers propose this might be an evolutionary defense mechanism. Octopuses have around 33,000 protein-coding genes, and humans have around 20,000, including genes unique to cephalopods, like for camouflage and neural plasticity. Paper clips were invented in the 1890s and have remained largely unchanged since. While they are hibernating, bears do not urinate. Their kidneys shut down almost completely, and urea, a major component of urine, is recycled into proteins that maintain a bear's muscle mass and organ tissues. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't yet.